Hey guys, Joe here. So I just want to show you some results, and this is also a video for Jason Smith. So this is Jason's fence company. We've been talking for like the last few weeks about business and some other things and Google My Business. And so I'm just going to show you the results, and then after that, I'm going to show you basically what Jason needs to do, and then this is stuff that you can take away from your own or for your own company as well. And then basically, if you're interested in this kind of stuff as well, I'll put a link, but you can basically go to localprohelper.com, go to the Google My Business section, and then you can schedule like a free talk, basically talk about business. We can go over your Google My Business listing, like that kind of stuff as well. Again, I don't claim to know everything, but I've been able to simplify businesses or the mindset within a business. The people that I usually work really well with and they receive my, the kind of mentality that I, go through is basically people that are looking to scale their business, using subcontractors typically, and a lot of times not even really within the fence industry. So as crazy as it sounds. But not to say that other businesses can't, profit from this stuff as well. So anyway, this is what we looked at when we first, and the crazy part, these are results in a week, which is crazy. So we have January 21st, and then I did another report today. Okay. So this is what he's looking at like today. So each of these, I forget the mile radius. Let me go into here just to double check. So we do every 3 miles, right? So let me go back. So what we see here is every 3 miles is a listing. So this is a pretty big area. This is 11 blocks. So basically, 15 miles in one direction, 15 in another. And then by the time you get in these corners, like you could be like, 20 plus miles away. And that's, basically in the air. So just that 20 miles is probably like a good, 45 minutes to an hour drive time, right? So this is where he's at. It's not bad. Where you can see is basically most of the rankings. And again, green, in my opinion, green's obviously good. Orange they put is like not so good. Honestly, it's if you're not in the green, then it's kind of like a waste of time. The reason for that, in case you haven't seen this stuff before, well, when people are looking for you, 80-90% of the time, they're typing in fence company near me. How do I know this? Because I can run keyword reports and then basically see what they're searching for. And time again in your area, if people are searching fence company near me, and just say if they're doing that 500 times a month, well, when they're typing in vinyl fence installation, cedar fence, and all the other kind of things, you might see like 15 and 20, searches for that. Whereas the other one's like 500, so there's, the way I look at everything is I follow the 80-20 rule, 80% of your results from the 20% of the actions. I might as well just focus all my time and attention on fence company near me. And then once you start ranking for that, then you start going after the other stuff. That's the way I do things. So when someone types in fence company near me, the first thing is you see is the ads. And then down here is the Google My Business listing. So when it looks at it, it's not including this ad. There's typically one ad up here. And then you got the 3 other people. Now, obviously, I'm located in Deptford, so that's why I'm showing up first, but I normally show up first anyway. When you look at your stuff, you will not see these boxes here. It's just because I have extensions installed on Chrome. But this is what people are looking at. So typically, if they're looking to get an answer right away, they're going to go through these listings. Now, if you notice here, I have 187 reviews compared to 44 compared to 78. Not only that, I'm a 4.9 compared to a 4.3 compared to a 3.7. So this is one of the biggest things that you can do is get your reviews up, right? So, Amazon, right? So when you're buying stuff on Amazon, if there's the same product pretty much, but one has 100 reviews for a 4.9, but the other one has 25 for, even a 4.9, you're going to buy the other one that has 100 reviews, even if it costs you more, just because you trust it. It's the same thing here. It's not guaranteed that they're going to use you, but right off the bat, they're going to trust you more than the other people, especially compared to Burger Fence. These people have been around. It's not 10 plus years. They've been in business for 60 years. But even though they have the brand recognition and everything else, well, people that are moving from the area and everything else, they're going to trust me before they trust them. even though they've been in business for like 10 times longer than me. So anyway, so these are the results that we're looking at. So the 1s, 2s, and 3s, that's great. So they're showing up right in this listing. For anything else, the person has to click on view all. Even though it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, they still have to go through all these, right? And they may, but also like if they get the answer that they want and the customer service and everything else off of the first 3, there's no reason for them to click over. So that's why, in my opinion, that the oranges and the reds, both of them are bad. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay, so again, this is the last week. Here's today. Look at this. It's crazy. Like absolutely, going back, hold on. Like that to this in a week. Like this is nuts. And so I'm going to show you what I did in order to get these results. And it's really nothing crazy, okay? So what we're doing is we're going on here. Oh, I got to go back into their... Go back into the listing because I got out of it. We learned. So number one thing I did is when I first looked at his, it was just labeled as Lee Laren. Like that's it, right? So we literally just added fence company. So if you have a business and it does not say fence company in there, or if it says just Lee Laren fence, right? You want company in there. Why is that? Because people are searching fence company near me. They're not searching fence installation. They're not doing all that kind of stuff, right? So like, just to kind of prove my point. So we're in here. This is KW Finder. You can get a free trial. I don't know what they charge per month. Oh, I guess I could click there. Basics, $30 a month. You don't have to keep this thing forever. I do just because I'm doing research for other companies, but it's helpful, right? So let's go back in here. So I'm just going to give you my example. Ulster County. Actually, that's not as big. We'll go county. Okay, so I'm going to type in fence company near me. There's 870 people a month. This isn't a year. This is every single month that are looking for a fence company near me, and that's what they're searching, right? So if you compare it to fence installation, you know, if it was Lee Laren fence installation, there's only 90 people a month looking for that, right? Now, if you go into the other ones, right? So like vinyl fence installation. This will move a little quicker. 20, just 20 people a month. So there's literally 40 times more people looking for fence company near me than anything else, right? And you can do it for anything. It's all the same thing. You could even type in like fence, right? And then we'll sort this. So fence company near me has more results than people just typing in fence, right? Fencing near me, all that kind of stuff. Home Depot fencing. So this is what you need to focus all your time and attention on, at least in the beginning. And if you get all the results that you can out of this, then it's kind of just a little bit of a bonus to start ranking for the other stuff, in my opinion. Again, other people have their own opinions, but this is what I feel. And it's what's worked for us, okay? So that's what we changed there. That was the main thing, okay? The other thing that we would probably want to do next, if I was Jason, because that's just my opinion, is instead of doing these towns, what I would personally start doing is putting in counties, right? So if you're first starting out, you're not ranking for anything, just pick one county that you want to rank for. And that's it at the beginning. It's easier to rank for one county. And then once you do that, then you start expanding your service area. That's what I would personally do if it was my, my business, okay? The other thing that we looked at is basically the post. So we started doing some posts. He's got a few here and there. So we basically did one yesterday, and before that he had this. I think he has a company that might be doing this stuff, but the fact that he had those results and then I just showed him, you know, made a few tweaks, like that kind of speaks volumes. But so we did a post there. I think this is someone else that did the post for him. So what would I do if I was Jason at this point, right? So the next thing I looked at is the photos, okay? Oops. So we go into here and you can see that the last time that they posted photos was 8 weeks ago. Well, we had this one video from 6 weeks ago, right? But if we go to save this image, right? The image name is just basically the date. That doesn't do anything, right? And let me save that. And then I don't know why this keeps on doing when I save. Leave. Okay, so the other thing that I would do if I was Jason is I would use a program called Geoimgr. And if you like this kind of stuff or you want to advance it, what you can do is actually on my YouTube channel, there's plenty of other videos. But what we're going to see here is if there's any geotags in this thing. I don't know why this keeps on doing it. There's no geotags found. Okay, so what is a geotag? A geotag basically shows Google where this picture was taken. At this point, there's nothing in there. So what you would do, if you don't have me doing it for you, is go to geimgr.com, and then basically you would upload all your images, and then you would go in here, and then wherever you want to rank for, right? So for him, I forget the county, but I'm just making random stuff up. But I could type in a few things. You could do the county or also the town. A lot of times I would just go right after the town, because for me, like there's Haddonfield, right? Haddonfield is a very high-end area. People have money, so they're more likely to spend money on fences, right? So like I would just type in Haddonfield, and then you get the one that shows up. And then it basically has the zip codes, not zip codes, sorry, the latitude and longitude. So then what you do is after you're done that, you would write the EXIF tags, it puts it in there, and then you would download it, okay? So you would basically do this for all your images. Now, if you're using Company Cam, it's already going to put those in there, so then you're good to go, right? The other thing that I would start doing, and you could do this for multiple images at once. Okay, so you don't have to do every single one by one. So I'm just going to take these two images. I'm going to highlight both of them. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to rename. Okay, now this is important. Now what I want to do is type in either fence installation or fence company. Okay, so we're going to do fence dash installation dash, or actually we're going to show it for company. So I don't know why I said that, but you do fence company dash near dash, and then whatever, in this case, I was trying to rank for Haddonfield, right? Haddonfield dash New dash Jersey. Okay. And I would put installed dash Deptford dash fence company. Okay. Hit enter. If you notice, it actually changes both of them. So you don't have to do every single one little by little, okay? The reason why we're doing this is you're basically putting all these signals that basically say to Google, hey, this image is specifically for this area, right? But that's not all. No, if anyone's a fan of Ron Popeil with the pasta maker and everything else, but he was like the man back in the day. So if anyone, I used to be like a 10-year-old watching infomercials because I was nuts back then. So in here, I'm sorry, I'm talking and doing this. So you would highlight the images again. You would right click. You go down the properties. You're going to details. No one talks about this stuff, right? You're going to double click on the rating. And so you get all the 5 stars there. If it doesn't do it, just go back and double click on the thing again. Okay. Next thing, in title, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to type in, without the dashes this time, fence company near Haddonfield, New Jersey. And here, subject, I would probably just put like Deptford fence company. Again, fence company, not fence company. Tags. Now this, at first you're going to have to type in each one manually, but after a while, like it's just going to save everything you do. So in this case, I would type in fence. And in this case, it's a, oh, and I'm sorry. The other thing I would do for here is like, if it's a cedar fence, I would actually name it cedar-fence-company. Okay. So here I would tag it as cedar fence company. That's already says near Haddonfield, New Jersey. And I would go through the rest of them. I would do fence. I would do my company name. What else we got? Oh, fence company. I don't know if I have another one for Haddonfield. I guess not. Okay. So keep going. Privacy fence. What else we got? Another one that people search for all the time in my area is South Jersey Fence Company. Okay. Because one, there's a company named South Jersey Fence. And then the other thing is people are looking for a fence company in South Jersey, right? So if there's a similar term that people are searching for in your area, you're doing the same thing, okay? Oh, fence installation near me. And that's really about it. And then after that, we're going to click, hit apply, hit OK. Then you're going to take those images and upload them into Google My Business. Okay. Now, I would do the same thing. What I would personally do and what I do for my own company. Okay. So I would look at this. Oh, let's go to here. So I would look at this, right? And well, actually, let's go to the new one. I would look at this and this would just piss me off that I'm number 4 here, right? So what I would do is I would, you could get the latitude and longitude, right? So you would take that and then you would go into, again, the GeoIMGR, okay? And you could either input that information here, or what you can do also is you would go and you would actually zoom in. Get me out of the way. No one wants to look at me. I still can't see what that is. Like if you lived in this area, you'd probably know where it is. So Valpresso, it's probably Valpresso, I would assume. So I figure where this is. I could put in, I don't know if Pilot Travel Center. Well, it's Valpresso, right? No, I'd do a little bit outside of there. So it actually finds, so in this case, it's Porter County Fairgrounds. Let's see if it finds that. Porter County Fairground. Oh, perfect. There you go. Latitude and longitude right there, right? So I would actually be putting these in there in the images as this, right? So same thing, I would download them. So we have that. Obviously, you don't have to do this multiple times, but like you would, whatever images you want to rank for it, that's what or areas you want to rank for it, that's what I would go for. So that's what I would personally do. And then I would get like 10, 15, 20 photos and I would just load that sucker up. That's what I would personally do. Okay. So the next thing I would do is after I start ranking for that, then I would start going after the next ones. I would go for this area and keep on hitting one after the next, after the next. On top of that, and that's just for the photo sections. The next thing I would do is go into your post and I would start making posts. So those images you just uploaded, right, as your photos, you would do the same thing with this. You would basically make a new post and you would go to what's new and you would upload your photos. And it's okay to have them in multiple spots, right? So we open them. I'm not going to do this. I don't know why it keeps on switching back. It drives me nuts. It's too small. Oh, the image has to be bigger. I just downloaded the thumbnails. That's why it's not doing it. But if you had the regular photos, you would just basically upload it into that, right? And then you would do your post. Now, if you're trying to rank for Valpresso or whatever that place is called, or whatever, you would start putting in there. It could be like, are you looking for a fence company near Valpresso or whatever that place is called? Question mark. Reach out to Lee Laren Fence Company, right? Or you could say what I would also do. A lot of my posts are the same. It's kind of like. Here's an awesome cedar fence that that was installed in Lee Presso by Lee Laren Fence Company. Okay, that would be the first line. Next line would be, are you looking to have your fence installed in Lee Presso or the surrounding, I don't know what that area is called, but for me, it would be like, are you looking to have here's an awesome cedar fence installed in Haddonfield, New Jersey by Defford Fence Company. Next line would be, are you looking to have a fence installed in Haddonfield or the surrounding South Jersey area? Notice all the keywords that I'm kind of plugging in there, but it doesn't sound like spammy. Reach out to Defford Fence, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The other thing that you want to put at the bottom of your post is you actually want to put in, you go back into here. You want to put at the bottom, you want the link to your map. Okay. The way you do that is go into info. You go view all maps. Now you notice it's going to actually switch over. Bam. Take this, copy that sucker. You're going to go in here, and at the end of your post, you got blah, 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 South Jersey, blah, blah, blah. Bam. Okay. Now, for this, you can do it, add a button. I personally would. Honestly, you don't get a lot of traction from these posts, but they do help with your SEO, so it's just going to help you rank further. And so it's like a whole, it's like a holistic approach, right? So it's not like, it's kind of like trying to lose weight. we could try to cut our calories. We could try to eat healthier. We could try to not eat shit that comes out of a bag. We could work out. We could fast. We could drink more water. We could get a food allergy test to find out what actually inflames our body so we stop eating that shit, right? And you could do each one and it's going to get you results. Or like crazy people like me is you take everything and you do everything all at once. That's what I do. And it's basically kind of like that straw that, broke the camel's back. It just one thing after another thing after another thing. And then finally it's going to be enough, effort that you end up switching and, pushing those results that you're looking to do. So that's what I would do. But anyway, for here, you could either do call now or you could do learn more. Now, if you're going to do a learn more or something like that, the link for your button, what you can do is go right to your website, obviously. But if you haven't watched the other videos, you do not want to send them to your homepage. Why? Because your homepage typically does not convert for shit, just in my experience. Now, will it? Yes, here and there. But if you have a dedicated landing page that basically makes them only do one thing, then chances are they're going to convert. But if you go to a landing page, just show you what I mean. So here is my website, right? Looks nice, but there's too much shit, right? Now, the website, in my opinion, is really built on for SEO, so that way we're showing up more and more. But then the landing pages are to get them to do a specific action, right? So here's where they find all the information. But if they're already looking at a post about cedar fences, well, then we can show them in worst case, if you're going to do anything, you could send them to your cedar fence installation page, right? That you can do. But then same thing, right? So if we're looking at this, we have all this shit up here. So do we get a free estimate? Do we call? Do we look at pricing? Do we go to the about or our process or contacts or reviews or blog or FAQs? Do we go to the portfolio? Do we go to these other random things? Do we click on this shit, right? There's just too much to go through. Do we look at the process, right? There's a lot of different options that you can do. And in my opinion, it just doesn't convert well for the simple reason is, when you give people too many options, then it's not a good look, right? You're just going to confuse them. There's a good book, The Story Brand Method by Donald Miller. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. But basically his main saying is like, if you confuse them, you lose them. This confuses people, right? In my opinion, but it's good for SEO. Here's what we send them to instead. Now, again, you can make different landing pages, one for cedar, one for vinyl, one for aluminum, chain link, whatever you got, right? And you can have your own specific pictures and give them all the information they need, but only allow them to take one action, okay? So in this case, we basically have them being able to see their price or give us a call, okay? This is the only difference, which sends them down to here on the same page. So we're not letting them go anywhere. If you notice, there's nothing up here. This, what you're seeing in up here, this is because I'm logged into my system. So the customer, regular visitors are not seeing this stuff, right? So then what you see is, see your price, see your price, see your price. We just keep going and going and going. This is really cool. This helps as well. Google My Maps. This basically will just generate. This is building authority, right? The way it's doing it is because when people are looking, you could say to the person that, you install a shit ton of fences, right? The only part I hate is L drags. I could say I installed 1,500 fences, or I can show them this map that shows 1,500 fences, right? Or if they end up driving in even more, well, if they're located in Glendora, it's like, holy shit, like you did all these fences, right? Because what happens is you're trying to build authority, and this is going beyond Google My Business, but this is just anything else. But what happens is the closer in relation to the person is, the more likely they are going to trust them, right? So like if you got advice from your parents, you're going to take that more than likely, for which company to use. You're going to trust them more than some review on Google, right? Well, it's kind of the same thing is true for here. They can look, and if I'm located right here and I see these people here, I see this person here, I see these people here, I'm going to trust this more than I will for people that are across town because they're so close to me. And it's kind of like if they trust them, I must trust them. And the reason why they do this is because it's psychology, right? Not so much nowadays, but it's still true. I had this conversation with my 10-year-old that like when people are all the same, then basically no one gets made fun of, right? Because they don't stand out. Well, it's kind of the same thing, an evolutionary trait as well, that basically, they had to trust other people and the ones closest to them because the outsiders could be trying to kill them or take their food or anything like that. All right. So anyway, that's Google My Maps. Again, that's on, I made a YouTube video on that as well. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so if I was Jason and this is what I would do. So number one is I would look in the areas to see, one, I would be super thrilled that I have all this because this basically this means is that he's going to have a shit ton of phone calls, right? And like this is after 1 week, which is the crazy part. And he's got this is a major area over here. The next thing is to start really attacking this area is what I would personally do. And you can see the results. He was at 21 plus for a lot of these things. And now like he went from 21 plus, let's go into here, 21 plus, 21 plus, 21 plus. And then he goes in here, he's at 4 and 6. Like he's improved at least 17 positions in a week, right? Because we changed the name. So anyway, hope that helps. And like I said, so step number one for Jason is start. I would attack this just because it pisses me off that that's the only number 4 in that area. So I would go after that, upload pictures. The other thing that's super important is along with pictures, it helps you rank even more, right? So here's for my fence company. So you can see the different results. Like we're at 6,100 views in the past month. 6,100, right? So we come down to info. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong. Sorry, my brain's like mush. It's time for dinner. So let's scroll down. I just want to show you the photos. So the photos in 1 month, right? There's been almost 14,000 people that have seen my photos compared to the average business of 1,000, right? Or I'm sorry, not 13,000, 13,000 photos they've looked at. I compared to 1,000, not 14,000 people. And the reason for that is simple. I have 342 photos and 32 customer photos compared to the average of 20 and 8. It's literally that simple. And what happens is they look at that, they're going to end up calling you. It's just what happens all the time. And not that this is many calls like for this time, it's this time of year, so it's not too bad. But for the last month, we've had 55 phone calls just from Google My Business because of this stuff. So a lot of people that are looking, for a week on a weekly basis, you're looking at, like 10, 11 calls per week. Actually probably 12, 13 calls per week. Just because of Google My Business. And again, this is just a slow time of year. If you look at for the quarter, we're at 259. So for the 3 months. So basically it was 55 for last month and then, just say 100 for December and 100 for and so you're looking at like 25 calls a week that I was getting. Now in the peak season, it's going to be drastically higher. Like I said, we get about 50 to 80 phone calls a day. And a majority of it is because of Google My Business. So anyway, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you can just go to Local Pro Helper, Google My Business. I'm redoing this, but basically what you can do is, it's all the way at the top. See if it makes sense for you. You click this. And then you can do this. You basically pick a time. There's not as many times. There is more times on Saturdays and Sundays now, just because during the week we're starting to get busy. We're trying to train people. So it's basically just 6 o'clock at nights on Thursdays and Fridays. And then we have the rest of the time here. We basically click on here. It is going to ask you a bunch of questions because some people are looking for Google My Business. Other people are looking to get help with their business. But basically, if you want help with Google My Business, you put yes or no. And then to see how to give me access, you basically just highlight this video, hit copy, you go into here, and then you watch the video. Like it's that simple. And then so you just go down the line and then we'll talk and I'll see how I can help you out. So anyway, good luck to Jason this year. I can already tell he's going to have insane results just because of those tweaks that we made. It's nuts, absolutely nuts. So I wasn't expecting that, but Good for him. Yeah. So anyway, talk to you guys soon.